You are watching
CRDN.
Civil Rights Daily News, recycling only the truth in rotation 24 hours a day.
Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in to Civil Rights Daily News, your #1 source for propagandalist reporting, recycling only the truth in rotation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Let's head into the Bronx, where our field reporter, Jade Lopez, is going to be covering the Community Outreach Day, which is dedicated to giving families the much-needed peace of mind as they access resources to health, food, and back-to-school supplies. Good morning, Jade.
Families are getting a helping hand today as organizers bring essential resources into the community. This event includes health screenings, a food pantry, a backpack giveaway, and a community barbecue for families all across the borough. Organizers say the goal is to make essential services easier to access while also connecting residents with programs that can use past today. For many parents, the timing is especially important as school creeps up and as we prepare for the new year, which added costs come with. Volunteers are also on hand throughout the day to answer any questions, concerns, or comments that anybody attending the event may have.
Your name and your title.
I'm Dr. Louise Lawrence Rose. I am the pastor's wife here at the First Church of the United Brethren in Christ, Bronx, New York.
And so just tell us a little bit about the event.
Okay, this event is an annual intervention planned by both the hospitality team and the community outreach team of our church. We think about the needs of our community and our constituents every year, and we put on a very big say thank you to them. Everything we do here is free. We give them a taste of our culture because we're going to be having jerk chicken and all that fabulous food that they like for lunch. And then we cooperate with other organizations such as Stand Up to Violence, our community partners. Some of them have their booths along here, and they give out information, Jacobi Hospital, several of them, and they, give information and other resources to the community every year. And also we do give a book bag distribution every year about this time as well.
So can you just state your name and your occupation for me?
Sure. My name is Philip Irby. I am Outreach Supervisor for Jacobi Stand Up to Violence program. At Jacobi Stand Up to Violence, we work to reduce gun violence. We do that by mediating conflicts, working with the highest risk individuals to shoot someone to get shot.
And so tell me a little bit about why you came out today.
Here, well, we come here, we support the community, we work in the community. Most of us was hired from the communities, the outreach work team. We come here and we collab with the church, which is doing stuff for God, and we're out here doing stuff to help the people in the community. We deal with the community every day, 5 days a week during our work shift. We have what's called canvas hours. We come out here and we canvas a minimum of 2 hours a day to just be in the neighborhood, making sure that things are safe, the kids are not running around shooting people and stuff like that. As far as the community and all the people that's here, we're giving them food, we're giving them school supplies for the kids to go back to school, and resources, connecting them to resources to help them out for their day.
Back to you, SAMIHA, in the studio.
Thanks, Jade. Now let's take a look into some breaking news where 41-year-old former Cambridge professor Jason Arday has passed away on Friday afternoon, August 14th. His death comes around the time that his memoir was also released by Simon & Schuster called The Great and Unfortunate Things, detailing his life and his experiences over the years, especially as becoming the youngest Black professor to teach at Cambridge University as of 2023. He resigned 9 days prior amidst allegations and intense media pressure surrounding plagiarism in his academic work and questions surrounding his previous claims about his athletic and fundraising accomplishments. He was pronounced dead at his home in Battersea, South London on Friday afternoon, according to the Metropolitan Police Department. Since working at the University of Cambridge, Arday had reported receiving racist emails as soon as he took up his position, and that they became so intense that he had to resort to screening his emails. In an open letter written to Government Minister Jackie Smith in July 2025, He outlined some of the experiences that he had endured, including being threatened with a knife and physically assaulted and spat on. In addition, he received rape and death threats, not only to his family, but to himself as well. And he also received bananas and bullets postings from the university campus. Another thing that he also received from them was corrosive substances and mutilated animals being sent to his family's home. But let's get into some investigations about the plagiarism concerns. Concerns about his qualifications arose just at last month when the one-time Cambridge philosophy researcher Nathan Kofnas, who had formerly resigned from the university, wrote a Substack highlighting some of his work that was plagiarized and essentially tearing into his campaign and some of the details of some of his misadvised work. Nathan Kofnas, a self-proclaimed race realist who was actually fired from Cambridge's Emmanuel College in 2024 after suggesting in a blog post that in a meritocracy there would be close to zero black professors in Harvard. Kofnas claimed that he had put Arday's PhD thesis through a plagiarism detection software and found that, quote, many passages were lifted with minimal editing, some retaining copy editing and mistakes from the original source. Another professor with emeritus at Plymouth Marjan University in Devon by the name of Dr. David Harris was also a part of the smear campaign against Arday's academic work and had previously wrote a letter to Cambridge about said claims. A little context into who Dr. Harris is: he had actually published a book on critical race theory in 2024 and was initially stripped of his emeritus status after administrative disputes. He was then reinstated earlier this year after they discovered that his work was ultimately deemed just controversial by the university. But it is important to note that the queries regarding some of the earlier work completed by Arday during his thesis, there were 2 corrections that were edited into the papers that were released in 2018 and 2020. On a July 24th analysis, they had also published according to the Times of London, that the 2015 PhD thesis highlighted a few examples that were either identical or near identical to an earlier paper that was written by a different researcher. The British press also raised some alarms about an alleged £5.5 million, also translated to $7.4 million in US currency, of charity that he had amassed through fundraising, marathons, and running for 30 marathons in 35 days, as well as a 600-mile race in 6 days. According to the post in The Guardian, Arday had clarified this statement, saying that the money that he had raised was due to the help of many fundraising collectives over a 2-decade period. Dozens of Cambridge academics signed a letter calling for an independent inquiry into how he was appointed. But initially, the University of Cambridge had actually stood by Arday amidst the plagiarism allegations. And they had also added that it was investigated by the Liverpool John Moores University, the same university that had awarded the doctorate to Arday. They also added that their incrimination attempts were nothing more than a vile smear campaign to undermine his credibility. In support of Arday, the Green Party leader Zach Polanski and prominent Black Studies academic Kehinde Andrews also argued, quote, that an orchestrated and grim effort to delegitimize a brilliant young working class academic for the sin of being successful while Black, alluding to Professor Arday. Another professor had said that Professor Arday probably holds the top position in the world in sociology of education. It's important for the whole discipline that he addresses these claims. This is according to the University of Essex's Professor John Preston. However, a change of tune came into place after they had initially found out through an open investigation that more information about his qualifications and his honorary appointments. It's also important to note that prior to the investigation that had taken place, when he was working at the school, and also a part of the 75th anniversary of the British Sociological Association's conference held earlier this year, one of the key notes that he had addressed was racism and discrimination against Black academia. He also delivered a talk titled "Wanted Dead or Alive, the Playbook," adding that the playbook had essentially helped to bring down some of the biggest U.S. names in academia, and conservative activists were the work of Black academics looking for any excuse to discredit them, whether it was through inconsistencies, citation errors, passages in their work, or pages that were similar to other existing pages. Once those inconsistencies were found or were identified, right-wing media outlets and conservative politicians would then, of course, apply pressure not only to media outlets, but also to the universities to cut ties with the Black academics. These tactics are not solely isolated to the United States, but they're also linked to the United Kingdom, where a bunch of high-profile Black academics were also displaced from their job positions due to these practices. As investigations surrounding his death are still pending, we will continue to update you on any new detail we receive. Until then, thank you for tuning in to Civil Rights Daily News, your #1 source for propagandalist reporting, recycling only the truth in rotation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you'd like to learn more details about this story or any of our other topics, check us out on our website, CRDN-NEWS.com, or check us out on our TikTok and our YouTube pages at Civil Rights Daily News.
You are watching Civil Rights Daily News, recycling only the truth in rotation 24 hours a day. You are watching
CRDN
Civil Rights Daily News, recycling only the truth in rotation 24 hours a day. You are watching
CRDN
Civil Rights Daily News, recycling only the truth in rotation 24 hours a day.
Let's go into a shooting that took place in Michigan. A series of shootings have resulted in at least 6 people reported dead as of Friday, August 14th, according to Michigan State Police. The alleged suspect, 39-year-old Chad Hickman, fled the scene before they arrived at one of the homes. According to police and officers, they conducted a large-scale search for him until they had found a 4th person dead at another home. Police sent out alerts through X that Hickman was armed and dangerous, advising community members to not approach him if they saw him. Authorities were then led to his vehicle, which was found in a wooded area near Whitlock Lake, and had also found his body as well as another deceased individual. Investigators are still working to process the scene. Hickman was from Lake City area and had previously had criminal records, including a 2024 misdemeanor charge in the 4th degree of child abuse, contributing to the delinquency of children in connection with a 2010 criminal case brought by the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Department. According to local reports, the court dismissed his felony charges of assault with intent to do bodily harm, interfering with electronic communications, and 2 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct, followed by the dismissal of the misdemeanor charges of 4th-degree child abuse. Said charges were based off of the testimonies of his ex-wife, Katie Hickman, during her September 2023 divorce proceedings, which alleged that her marriage to Chad Hickman was characterized by control, coercion, and fear. Judge Melissa Ransom wrote an opinion in the 2025 divorce trial affirming domestic abuse allegations were at the center of their issues within the marriage. Ransom also added that Katie testified that she had lacked access to financial resources and marital assets, and was compelled to make decisions and commitments under threats of harm, including physical violence, sexual assault, and financial control. Katie Hickman alleged that Chad Hickman misappropriated money that was originally intended for rental property purposes, for a renovation that they had both owned. Ransom ultimately determined that both parties made credible and inconsistent claims and determined that the personal property in each of their possessions shall be awarded to the party that had held free and clear of any claim by the other partner. In the meantime, however, police have advised people to avoid the areas that the shooting took place, and will continue to keep you updated on any new information we find out about the suspect or any of the other individuals that were harmed. With Civil Rights Daily News, I'm SAMIHA Charles.
You are watching
CRDN.
Civil Rights Daily News, recycling only the truth in rotation 24 hours a day. You are watching
CRDN.
Civil Rights Daily News, recycling only the truth in rotation 24 hours a day.
Before we head into our next set of stories, let's tune back into our field reporter Jade, who's currently in the Bronx right now for Community Outreach Day, hosted at the First Church of the United Brethren in Christ. Jade?
Families in the Bronx are getting a helping hand today as local organizers bring free resources directly into the community. This event includes free health screenings, a food pantry, back-to-school backpack giveaway, and a community barbecue for families all across the neighborhood. Organizers say the goal is to make essential services easier to access while also connecting residents with programs that they can continue using even after today. For many parents, the timing is especially important as families prepare for the start of the new school year and the added costs that come with it. Volunteers are also on hand throughout the day to answer questions, distribute supplies, and help you find the support you need. So can you state your name and your occupation?
My name is Robert Rose. I am the senior pastor of the First Church of the United Brethren in Christ, right here where we are standing.
And tell me a little bit about the event you have organized today.
Great. You know, this is our community outreach. It's a yearly event that we plan where we give out stuff to the community, and we invite different vendors to come and to partner with us. And like this year is a special year because we are also partnering with SUV in this event, as this is one I think we try to do to make the church be felt within the community and the community be felt within the church.
And tell me a little bit about how this benefits families in the community.
Well, with the agencies that we bring in, they help to share the information that they have with the community, that the community itself can be able to benefit and can be educated by the different things that the community have to offer.
And tell me a little bit about the resources. I know you guys have book bags, you have a food pantry, you have a barbecue, health resources. Tell me a little bit about what's offered today.
Okay, for today, as you have just mentioned, we have a barbecue, right? And all of this, if I may pause to say, a lot of what we do, it comes from within the church, right? We get some of the stuff from outside, and but a lot of things that we do, we get it from within the church. Yes, so the barbecue, the book bags giveaway, we have a food pantry giveaway as well, which happen every third Saturday, and like today, so it's a whole big thing today. And we have blood pressure check-in. We have nurses within our church that we are using the gifts and the talents that God has given to us to share with the community. So persons can come and get their blood pressure checked and know where they are. Also, spiritually, we are caring for the community. We have our evangelism team outside, and they're praying with the community. They are sharing the good news of Jesus Christ. So we are reaching the people through their felt need, ministering to their felt need, but also reaching their real need, which is giving them salvation.
And is there anything else you'd like to say or anything else you'd like to mention to people watching? Anything about the church, the community, any other information you have?
Definitely. The First Church of the United Brethren in Christ is located at 805 Astor Avenue, Bronx, New York. And we are a church that believe that we need to point people to God, fellowship within, and share with the community. So it's an in and out approach right here at First Church of the United Brethren in Christ. We strive to fellowship as best as we can with the community, partnering with all the agencies around. We are a church that is multicultural, so a lot of our members are Jamaican, but also we have African, we have American, African Americans, we have Hispanics right here. So it's more of a multicultural church.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
You are most welcome. Thank you.
Back to you in the studio, SAMIHA.
What a beautifully diverse church. And thank you to Jade Lopez and to Reggie Lawson, our cameraman. Coming up, we will be discussing the University of Virginia shooting and more details on the casualties in just a bit.
You are watching
CRDN.
Civil Rights Daily News, recycling only the truth in rotation 24 hours a day. You are watching
CRDN.
Civil Rights Daily News, recycling only the truth in rotation 24 hours a day.
We now want to tune into the University of Virginia, which is undergoing a mass campus lockdown as early of Saturday morning. August 15th, a shooter had shot multiple suspects, including 5 people who were allegedly shot at the university. And it had happened near the quad annexes where campus police and Chesterfield County officers have discovered at least 5 people that were suffering from gunshot wounds just outside of the campus dorm. Officers responded to the scene just before 1:30 a.m. and the lockdown was immediately lifted around 9 a.m. 5 individuals were reported to the hospitals, and with one of them who was initially declared as having life-threatening injuries, now in critical condition. The others haven't sustained any non-life-threatening injuries, fortunately. And in a statement released from the police department, from the university specifically, they had added a significant law enforcement presence remains on the campus as the investigation into this morning's shooting continues. With Civil Rights Daily News, I'm SAMIHA Charles, and we will continue to update you on any more news we find out about this shooting and if the suspect has been caught. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll be right back.
You are watching
CRDN.
Civil Rights Daily News, recycling only the truth in rotation 24 hours a day. You are watching
CRDN.
Civil Rights Daily News, recycling only the truth in rotation 24 hours a day. You are watching
CRDN.
Civil Rights Daily News, recycling only the truth in rotation 24 hours a day.
We now want to get into some devastating news where flooding has hit Indiana at a record-breaking level, hitting over a foot higher than the previously recorded set in 1913. White Rose River had rose to more than 24.9 feet. And since August 11th on Tuesday, more than 11 inches of rain have hit the east side of Indianapolis. Let's take a look at some of the footage that we found from TikTok of the residents.
This is my neighborhood, and I genuinely is stuck in here.
Governor Mike Braun declared a state of emergency on Thursday and mobilized the Indiana National Guard. He called the flooding event an absolutely historic one and is seeking federal support to cover emergency response costs, including expenses related to power restoration and water rescue. In Anderson, Indiana, flooding was so great that people were ordered to evacuate the area after several feet of water had completely covered the streets and surrounded the homes. Let's take a look at another video from a residing neighborhood not too far. Similar conditions were also found nearby in Franklin County, with swampy water covering the tracks and the streets for its second consecutive day. Homes in Cambridge City were also surrounded by several feet of water. First responders have rescued over dozens of people across the region, and emergency shelters have been set up in neighboring towns. The flooding could, however, still worsen as it's expected to continue swelling with rain up until Sunday afternoon. With Civil Rights Daily News, I'm SAMIHA Charles.
You are watching
CRDN
Civil Rights Daily News, recycling only the truth in rotation 24 hours a day. You are watching
CRDN
Civil Rights Daily News, recycling only the truth in rotation 24 hours a day.
Let's go into international news, where a 7.7 magnitude earthquake has just struck the coast of Indonesia this Saturday morning, resulting in the deaths of 47 people and the injuries of several others. Let's take a look at this video of the earthquake.
Jawab si Gatoy. Bantay ka lang pala. Uy! Uy, awa dire! Uy, awa dia puste. Awa puste. Begitu. Tera. Uy, sudah kau ini, uy. Shit. Ya. Napa. Relax, alam panik. Relax lang. Uli ko pa, anak pa.
A second earthquake at a magnitude of 6.4 also struck the western island of Sumatra later in the day, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. Authorities reported collapsing infrastructure and roads that had also resulted in panic across the region for the region who has already prone to deadly earthquakes. And according to the U.S. Geological Survey, the Indonesia's Flores region was hit the hardest by the earthquake at around 5:58 a.m. local time. Its epicenter was about 42 miles northwest of the city at the end of East Nusa Tenggara province. According to AP News, authorities have also urged coastal residents to move to higher ground due to another tsunami warning that was just issued this morning, but later lifted when the Meteorological Agency of Indonesia had declared that monitoring showed no significant sea level changes that would pose a threat to the coastal community. The severe earthquake has also resulted in at least 235 aftershocks, and the largest recorded magnitude at 6.2. Head of National Disaster Management Agency Suryanto had said that at least 47 bodies have been recovered by rescuers in Asika, Manggarai, and East Manggarai province, and at least 50 people were also taken to the hospitals. He also noted that at least 157 homes were flattened and 200 more were damaged, forcing 2,000 villagers to be displaced from their homes and moved to separate shelters. More than 100 public facilities, including churches, medical centers, and schools, have also been reported destroyed due to the powerful shift. East Nusa Tenggara Police Chief Rudy Darmoko also said that the earthquake had caused severe damage and collapsed buildings, and as well as with the power outages in the cities and villages, it had also caused communication disruptions, which further complicated the rescue efforts. He added, "We are continuing to collect reports of damage and casualties, but there are communication disruptions." Indonesia is a vast archipelago consisting of more than 17,000 islands and is also easily prone to earthquakes, volcanic activity, and other seismic activity due to their proximity to an arc of volcanoes and fault lines within the Pacific Basin, also known as the Ring of Fire. For some historical context, in 1992, another powerful earthquake that had hit the region of Flores caused a tsunami that had ended up causing 2,500 casualties on the eastern half of Indonesia. In 2018, an earthquake at 7.5 magnitude resulted in a large localized tsunami that ended up wiping out coastal areas and resulted in 4,400 casualties. But the largest one was in 2004, when the earthquake had hit a magnitude of 9.1 just off of Sumatra in the western Indonesian region. It had also triggered another tsunami, resulting in the deaths of 230,000 people in over a dozen countries. We'll continue to keep you updated on this search for other individuals and any other information we're receiving in Indonesia as we receive them. With Civil Rights Daily News, I'm SAMIHA Charles, and thank you for tuning into Civil Rights Daily News, your #1 source for propagandalist reporting, recycling only the truth in rotation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you'd like to learn more information about this story or any of our other stories regarding weather, international news, local news, or any other segment, you can also leave us some advice or some tips on anything that you would like us to cover. And you can check out our content and Civil Rights Daily News on TikTok and YouTube and at CRDN-NEWS.com. I'm SAMIHA Charles, and have a good evening.
You are watching Civil Rights Daily News, recycling only the truth in rotation 24 hours a day.
Tune into Civil Rights Daily News, TikTok, YouTube, and our website to catch CRDN Sidelines with Cam and Reggie. All your sports news reporting on a dime. Catch CRDN Sidelines every Wednesday starting May 6th from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Catch CRDN Real Take with SAMIHA Charles live Sunday mornings from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. starting May 10th. For Civil Rights Daily News, recycling only the truth in rotation, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, I'm Jade Lopez.